Aloha everyone, it's Flash. Welcome to another episode of the United 808 podcast with your State Director, Kalani Werner. We've got a lot of fun stuff we're talking about today, including a new scholarship, a golf tournament, bingo, plus actual important things like a bunch of elections coming up, and I do mean a bunch of elections. There's a collective bargaining coming up as well, and yes, we'll even talk about the most important thing, big update on the temporary hazard pay situation. All right, Kalani, we got some good news. You have a new scholarship that's debuting this year.
Yep, Jimmy Toledo, up and running, been launching. It's been in the process for some time. It's one of the things I actually ran my campaign on to get elected as a state director. That one of the key things I felt was, as a large local union in the state of Hawaii, the fact that we weren't taking care of our keikis, the next generation coming up. I said it as one of my priorities to get done. It's now rolling into my third year. We're now announcing it, rocking and rolling. Jimmy Toledo Scholarship is going to be out.
Awesome. And the obvious question, who is Jimmy Toledo and why name the fund after him?
So, in our history of UPW, it's on beautiful history. You have people in our background, our foundations, Carol Nolan, a longtime advocate, current retiree president, Leonia Rodriguez, Anticala, some of us know her as, a solid longtime member. These are all individuals that created the foundation of UPW. James Toledo, he would be the Mount Rushmore of the individuals that had everything. You would have like Henry Epstein up there, Jimmy Toledo. These are guys that would be our Mount Rushmore. And he's just a long time, I want to say, over 30 plus years with this union, advocating for the working family. And his dedication and time that he gave to this union, when his time came done in this earth, the only way we could truly honor what he did for this union was to honor him with naming the scholarship after him.
Incredible.
So, yeah, it's a small gratitude for the work and the foundation he helped set for this union for us. And as we grow this scholarship, as we move forward, it's how we truly honor him. It's the only way we do it. We got to go big. So this is our first year. I believe right off the bat, we're doing 5 scholarships this year.
Oh, wow.
1,000 each. It's going to each of the divisions. As we grow this scholarship through our fundraisers we're doing, we want to be able to grow it where members could actually qualify for the scholarship. We want to grow the amount the scholarship is actually going for. We actually want to do it if our keikis or our kids who are actually way past the age of 18, but they're still in school. We want them to be able to, they can come back and still apply for the scholarship. So this is just a launch. But where we're going deep space.
Always.
We're going all the way out there to get the images no one's seen before.
UPW always going big.
Yeah.
So how do you apply? I mean, everyone listening right now, that's the first thing they're going to want to know.
So right now it's all online. It's upwhawaii.org/scholarship. You could actually stop by any of the offices to get assistance from the staff. But when you go onto that website and we can even send out a link here. It's in the Malama Pono with the access to information. The question that we're doing is all on there. Just the access to the information is unbelievable. Our communication team is getting this out. But we just need the people to start submitting. We got applications coming in already. It's so beautiful. You can tell by the response that our members was waiting for this for a long time.
And like you said, this is just the beginning.
Oh, it's the first step in a marathon run that we're ready to do this.
So going back a little bit, why don't you explain to people exactly what the UPW Foundation is behind the scholarship?
It's to protect our nonprofit license, our tax exemption. But through this foundation, we can actually hold fundraisers to earn the funding to fund the scholarship. We could have easily, years ago, through the convention, change the bylaws to say, hey, let's raise the dues, let's look at other ways to fund the scholarship. But we didn't want to do that to members back then. We wanted to be able to create a way so that we could establish other means of generating funds. Instead of hitting the member's pocket, find other revenues. And that's what we're actually doing. coming up just recently, we're going to have a bingo night here on Oahu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be beautiful. Come July, we're going to be hosting the first ever Jimmy Toledo golf tournament.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get some dates here because I want to play bingo. When exactly is the bingo fundraiser?
Bingo fundraiser is April 19th.
Where's this going to be at?
Kihei Lagoon.
All right. And so I want to go to the bingo fundraiser. How do we make that happen?
So on the Oahu office, you can stop by. The chief stewards have access to the tickets for sale. The Oahu office has tickets for sale. You just got to give us a call, reserve your tickets. Tickets are $25. It's a $25 donation. It comes with a dinner meal that night. You get a set amount of cards. We have great prizes up and running. We're not telling anybody the prizes yet. We want to release that as we get closer. It's a bigger surprise coming.
All right.
But it's going to be a fun-filled night. Actually, if you remember last year, Kauai held the first.
Yeah,
and
that's
it was
right.
a fun-filled night. Fun, beautiful night. The staff there, the board there did a phenomenal job running that event. And Kurt Subota, one of our strong member leaders on Oahu, he's actually got this event on Oahu up and running. And it's going to be rocking and rolling.
I mean, $25 gets you dinner, bingo, and the chance at prizes. That's a pretty good deal.
Actually, it's on the flyer. Your kids can come, and the kids will come in and they'll eat for free.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's going to be a beautiful night just for the UPW families to get together. It's for a good cause for the scholarship, and it's just a good night.
Yeah. And if bingo's not your thing, we've got the golf tournament coming up too.
That will be July 12th. It's our first annual. This is something most labor unions actually do as to help fund their scholarships is golf tournaments. And this is our first annual ever. We're going to try and make it as big as we can. I don't know how we got this idea to run this, but I got a great board, and I got a great staff supporting as we move along. And it's going to be a beautiful event.
Okay, so the golf tournament, what golf course is it going to be at?
Kapolei Golf Course.
Nice.
That's
a beautiful course.
It really is. That was
really
actually the first time I got to visit it. And when I went out there they could present what they was going to do for our union and our local, I was actually taken aback how beautiful that course actually is.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a fun event. We have the flyers actually being mailed out this week to all the other people that were asking to sponsor the tournament. It's going to be a fun-filled event.
No sandbagging when you give them your handicap either, guys. Come on.
Yeah. We're going to get a few that might fudge on that one.
So just like bingo, where and how can we sign up for the golf tournament?
The golf tournament is actually done by sponsorship levels that you could purchase it. It's basically how most golf fundraisers are held. There's a bronze, a gold, and a platinum tier. If you're looking to be able to sponsor, again, it's the same thing. Call your division office, and they can get you the whole price breakdown on how to enter.
Yeah. If you've never done a golf tournament in Hawaii, it's something special. They're always so much fun.
Yeah, it really is. The prizes, I'm gonna be honest, the beer cooler that goes around the course all day long.
You said it. I mean,
I'm not trying to let go of any secrets, but that's when the handicap comes into play.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. upwhawaii.org/golf if you want to sign up for the tournament. And we've also got the UPW store has got a lot of new stuff in it as well.
Our UPW store is always trying to update their line.
Can we talk about the secret stuff you showed me before we started the interview, or no?
So we're
gonna keep that a secret still.
No, we have a beautiful shirt that's gonna come out pretty soon. You know what? Let's just share one of them right now.
Oh, the big reveal. Okay.
So I'll let you grab one side, and we can hold it up for the cameras. It's a beautiful dry fit Polynesian design. It has our key, our union, our ohana. This is part of the next line that's coming out pretty soon. This is you walking down the street.
It's not subtle.
Yeah, it's not subtle.
Just like you, it's not subtle.
Yeah, they know who we are.
There you go.
We are UPW. We are Ashme.
So we don't quite have a debut date for that yet, but you want to keep looking in the UPW store for that. But it seems like you've made a concerted effort since you took over to really upgrade the merch and the swag for UPW, sort of show your UPW pride.
So when the store got launched, that was one thing we shared with everybody. This was just to get the store going. it's kind of like I said, the satellite going out into space. It's nowhere near the actual full launch. What we want to do is each division have their own swag.
Oh, really?
Each unit can be able to
nice.
have their own individualized items. So when you're a part of DOE, you should have swags that represent your school. You're coming from Refuge, you should be able to brag, I'm Refuge. You're a brother who holds the blue wall with corrections, you should have that blue line. It's just things like that we want the store up and running, that as we move forward, it's going to launch. This shirt, I'm not going to get the date yet. It's going to be this summer sometime. So just everybody, if you can, please just keep looking at the store. See, as more items get released, more things come out. It's just an opportunity for you guys to see what we have available.
And for the big brothers like yourself, you're going to have shirts that fit.
Hey, that's the key thing is when we go shopping, it's kind of hard when you scroll down and the biggest size you get is a 2X. We live in Hawaii. We get some Kanakas. We get some brothers and Usos out there that we need that plus size.
Yeah.
So when we look out for vendors to be able to create our shirts, we're looking to make sure that they can go as big as they can.
You got to cover the medium guys too,
Yeah,
though, right?
correct. When we design a shirt, we actually got to look at our individuals who are extra small, all the way up to our brothers and sisters that might be 6X.
Perfect example of that right here.
Yes, correct. you know, because you're a 6X.
Sure, I know.
I'm a medium.
Yeah.
We got to make sure
Exactly.
the sizes are available.
Okay, so for the scholarship, who exactly qualifies? And I know there's a deadline coming up, so we got to let people know sooner rather than later what's going on here.
Correct. The application deadline is May 20th, and that's really important because it's got to be received to us by May 20th. But like I just said, it's in its developing our first launch stage. So as we move forward, we want to expand it and so forth. But right now, this first year is for the direct dependence of the members.
Okay.
Keikis who are actually in their senior year right now, about to graduate.
Scary times for those kids, yeah.
Hey, you know what? We just want to be able to get those seniors about to go out an opportunity for get just a little something to help when they go into college.
Yeah, every little bit does help, especially when you live in Hawaii.
Dependent keikis direct to the member who are in their senior year that actually enrolled into the college coming this fall. It's kind of a narrow group right now. And like I said, as our scholarship grows and we can expand, it will. But this year, just so we can get it out, get something out to the families, we want it to out enrolling already.
Yeah, and if you have keiki at home that qualify, or even if you don't, you know, these fundraisers where you can help support this scholarship are really important. The bingo, the golf tournament, do what you can if you can.
Something I think is real important is if your kids are all grown up, just come out and party. Have a good time, enjoy ourselves. That's how you support the next generation.
You had me at party. We got some contract proposals coming up, Unit 1 and Unit 10. Oh, what's that smile for?
You know what? As a member leader involved with Bargaining Unit 10, I was involved with several of the negotiation process for 10 side. And this is my first time as a director running the negotiations myself.
No pressure.
Yeah, no doubt. We got to do is we got to knock this one out of the park. But the amount of proposals that's been coming in, and we still have a month more to go. I want to say we're still trying to dig into the information, but I want to say we've outshined any proposal acceptance in the history of UPW.
And it's not too late to submit a new proposal. I'm not trying to put more on your plate, but there's still time. There's still time, right?
April 30th, close of business day. It's got to get into my office with the member's signature on it. But I just to stress the amount of proposals, the engagement that the members are involved right now, being able to get these proposals in is beautiful. It is so awesome to see how involved and engaged our membership is right now to try to get changes done, try to get something language into the contract to make the workplace safer and better is a beautiful thing. You can tell UPW is all about our family and our family is growing.
One more time, what's that deadline?
April 30th, at the end of the business day, signature gotta be on that proposal. After that time, if it comes in, no signature on, if it's after by 5 minutes, it cannot be accepted.
Got it. And the elections, we've got some elections coming up too.
You know what? Elections, that was last year's podcast. We kept talking about it. Chief Steward elections coming up. Represent your base yards. Get out there. Be that voice. I wanted to try to be out as many as I can, but because we were so busy in the beginning of this year, I only got to make out to a handful of them, be a part of the process, talk story. Unbelievable turnout. Unbelievable showings. I want to say Island of Kauai, that division did a phenomenal job. I believe there's only 3 vacant chief steward positions.
Wow.
All the other positions are filled. You're talking from chief steward down to the stewards. And it's on testament not only to the leadership of the union, the board's leadership, the direction we're moving in. It's the belief that members see now that we are a family, we're moving forward. Holomoa, we're rocking and rolling. Big Island, we had one of their first division meetings, and elections were still going on, but that room was full to the max. Like, if they ever have a division meeting and everybody says they're coming, they won't even be able to hold it at their division office. They probably got to go look for a bigger conference room. So it's a beautiful showing, unbelievable how much members come out. They got involved. They stepped up for the unit elections. They got voices out there. Board of Water Supply, unbelievable showing. Wastewater on most of all our islands have chief stewards now. Maui, DOE. I want to say one of our union reps, Tihani, she was sharing as long as she's been employed, she's never seen a chief steward. And at that election, this leader stepped up and she said, you know what? I'll be that person. I'll be the chief steward. Let's do this. So the first time in, I want to say over 8 years, DOE on Maui has a chief steward rocking and a rolling.
That's a perfect example of what you've been preaching really the last year is you want the members on the front lines to step up into those leadership positions.
They are our first line of defense. Our first individuals standing up to the employer when wrong is being done to say, hell no. And to see the amount of show up, the amount of people stepping up is just a true testament of the change of this union, where we headed to. Oahu division. Our first division meeting was at the beginning of this month. Unbelievable turnout. Beautiful, beautiful showing. Remember, this room was full. This conference room was full. All new faces. Everybody's engaged.
That's exciting.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
As when I was the VP for the division of Oahu, I never saw any of my rooms that full. But to have that amount of chief stewards in the room was a beautiful sight. They actually had the chief steward, there's officers with them. Some of them brought their kids who are members in other units. So I'll say Guy Mitchell, handsome guy, he played our Santa at the Blue Collar Christmas on Oahu. He is the chief steward elected for his unit. And then his daughter, who was an EMS employee, was sitting next to him as part of it. Can't say our union, our Ohana, without that testament right there. It's just an unbelievable sight and how beautiful our election was. Hey, look, my accountant right now is stressing because ENC, FNC bringing all these chief stewards together is going to be costly now, but that's the price you pay when the family steps up. So praise God, praise everybody out there that stepped up, took the challenge, be able to step up to be these officers. Now let's rock and roll and do this. And that's why the next step is the education part. We got to make sure these guys get the backing for the union. Starting early, as I believe it's want to say in May, the divisions are going to start rocking and rolling with training these chief stewards, these member leaders, so they understand their role. They want to know, make sure that when the employer is pushing back, what parts of the contract protects them. We want to make sure that they understand who in the Oahu office or any of our office statewide is there so that they know who to turn to. So we got the guys into the position. Let's get the training up and running. It's going to be awesome.
So we've covered the chief stewards. It is really pretty much a full year of elections, and then coming up after the chief stewards would be the state officer elections.
For elections, yes. The next one is the state officers. That's the three main officers of this local, and that's Brother Junior's position, which is the state secretary treasurer, Brother Darrell's position as the state president, and of course my job,
the big dog,
the state director. Those three elections is actually coming up this fall. More information is actually going to be coming out in the next Malama Pono. It's coming up. It's, you know how the year goes. We're celebrating St. Patty's, then Christmas decoration goes up.
It's crazy. It's already April. It's really unbelievable. So let's talk about what your job entails and why that position is so important for everybody in UPW to vote on.
You know what? I always hear when people say this, and I don't try to praise it or anything, but I am the first member ever to be elected into this position by the general membership. And it was on something that came to me as something I hold dearly to myself. I try my best, everything I did in this first term, and as we rock and roll going forward, we just getting everything going. We're not done. There's so much more we can explore and go forward. The fight is nowhere done. There's so much injustice, so much going wrong with our membership that we still constantly fighting the employer. And it's to say what my job responsibilities and duties is to do and cover. I don't think the podcast is long enough. I really don't. It's from everything from covering the foundation, enforcing the contract, holding the employer accountable, working with the attorneys to make sure arbitrations try to get decisions as quick as we can, challenging the courts, challenging the ledge, working with the ledge, getting new things done, engaging with the membership. There is, even down to, I got to make sure the trash is empty at the end of the day.
And you got to make sure we got the nice new shirts.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm grateful. I think I said this a number of times in today's podcast that I am grateful, and it is a blessing that I have on board that is on solid board. My state executive board is on strong board. My staff does a phenomenal job statewide, from the Big Island all the way out to Kauai. It's an unbelievable showing that what my staff is able to do.
And even all the members under you seem to be really supportive.
Yeah, the member leadership out there, I'm going to be honest, I probably would have been checked out if I didn't have this support system with me. It was something I said when we took over. It's a foundation that it's built. We got to have the walls. You got to have the roof to be able to be standing as a whole to protect our family. And hands down, that's what exists today. This structure that we've built is how we're able to stand today, how I'm able to do my job and all this performance of titles. I want to say under our Constitution, in the Constitution, the state director's position is probably a page and a half long.
That's it?
No, it's crazy because you look at any other position, it's like maybe a quarter of a page, and then I'm here going, wait, what's going on?
Yeah. Well, if you want to do yourself a favor and really dig into what the state director does, you can go back to our first podcast and listen to every podcast that we've done so far. And, each episode, we only just touch on a few things that you're doing, but they're all so important. And every time we talk, it's a completely new set of things that you've got going on. And communication is really key to all this. And communication is definitely, I would say, one of your strong suits.
Yeah, it's one of those long stories that mom used to always yell at me about.
And then the state officer elections, that's not even the end of it. We have more elections coming up after that as well. Like I said, I wasn't kidding when I said it was a year of elections. We have the division officers after the state officers.
Correct. So the division elections take place right after the state officers. The division officers are the VPs, the state, the division secretary, division treasurer, and each, based off the number of membership, is established how many delegates to those positions. Now, each division, those individuals also hold a seat as part of the state executive board. But overall, they're the entity that rock and roll. That's the guys that hold me accountable to make sure I do my job, and I appreciate all the support. They do support me in moving forward. Those individuals' elections come up this fall. This right after the state directors. Those elections run, they have to be actually completed by December. And when those elections up, that's your new leadership of the union, the new direction we're going in.
So much voting this year. So we've got the unit elections, we've got the state officer elections, and the division officer elections. Did I miss anything?
You know what? It's a big year. Presidential elections. It's always a heated topic. It can divide friends. You have so much races coming up this year for our state ledge, county mayors, and so forth. We have endorsements coming up. To go back to the key thing, something that we're going to actually be doing in the next round of Section 8s, register to vote. We got to get the members out there. Not only to register to vote, but also just to vote. It's a constitutional right, something that you as an American have. We got to stress that to our membership. We got to get our members and their families out to vote. It's such a key thing, is to show our strength in numbers. I believe with our 11 to 13,000 strong, as alpha males in our families, we could easily get 6 to 10 people in our family to vote the way we vote. You're looking at 60,000 strong that could cast some vote. That could swing any election going one way. I've said this time and time again, UPW does not endorse on a party. We do not look at the letter next to the name. Republican, Democrat, whatever it is, what you going to do for labor?
You know, as we sit here talking about voting and why it's so important in the U.S. Constitution, you actually just came back from ground zero for all of that. You just did a Washington, D.C. study tour.
Yes, so Ashmear International, they have a long-standing tradition. Whenever a new state executive board is elected to office, individuals who are now first time serving on the board, they actually Ashmear brings those individuals up with staff so that they go through this whole process of who Ashmear is, what's the ins and outs, what they provide from us, day-to-day operations. They take us up to the Capitol. We meet with the elected officials from Hawaii.
So
and
cool.
Other areas. It's a phenomenal event, and it's a true testament to Brother Lee Saunders' leadership that he has this program up and running. And it's a 3 to 5 day program that they run up there, and Ashmear really knocks it out of the park for us. Lee Saunders, again, a testament to his leadership. What he provided for those individuals out there, the things they learned, the individuals, what they were exposed to. We normally hold it when the officers are first elected into office, but as soon as we came into office, we were rocking and rolling, so much going on. It actually happened in the third year. And at the end of that study tour, when we were all coming back, there was almost, I want to say, about 20 of us up there. We came back such as a stronger family, the bond that we build up there. And that's why they try to do it in the beginning, so the board, who is now newly elected, grows stronger. And the priority is always the membership. How do we take care of the membership? But that study tour, the stuff we were able to obtain and learn from Ashmear, the exposure we got just being up there. And I'm not talking about the 17-degree weather we were stuck in.
Nobody from Hawaii likes that.
Yeah. You know what? Somehow this guy always makes his way in, Doug Corral, into our podcasts. But that guy got it because it was 17-degree weather, and that guy was walking around in surf shorts, okay? He almost got kicked out of D.C. by people up there. So it's a phenomenal opportunity. Any member who's elected to the state executive board for their first time gets that opportunity that Ashmear brings you up. So you're a part of the understanding fully what they do for us, how they protect us, how we might be the guardians here in the state of Hawaii, but that's the big dogs. And it all goes back to Brother Lee Saunders, our international president. such an awesome opportunity just to be able to sit down and talk to him directly. There's no way I could express it. We have a small video we could probably share just of us moving around DC. I want to be honest, our board, when we're dressed up, we're some sexy guys. Only a few times you're ever going to see me in a suit and tie, but
yeah, I'd like to see that for sure. Okay, finally, the elephant in the room. We talk about it on every show. Temporary hazard pay update. Where are we at on this?
Oh, that's so funny. I thought you were going to say what was the next series we were watching on Netflix. Isn't that the subject we always talk?
We can get into that too. We'll Drive to Survive maybe.
Hazard pay. So important. Let me get into this. City and County of Honolulu. Our arbitration hearings just wrapped up. What we thought was going to be a 9-day hearing actually ran for 7 weeks.
Whoa.
It was a crazy, crazy arbitration hearing. The things they were trying to accuse the membership of, the claims they tried to hold against this union, I think the attorneys we have representing us did a phenomenal job in the fight on our behalf of our membership. And that's just the beginning of where we're at, because we just closed the arbitration. There's a next step in there for the City and County of Honolulu actually is the briefs from both sides cross presented to the arbitrator. Then the arbitrator has a deadline that he has to return the response to us. So as that plays out, we're actually now rolling into the County of Hawaii. Their arbitration is about to start. It's also set for, I believe, between a 7 to 9 day. I'm going to start questioning how we go from 7 to 9 days to the 7-week stretch. And I'm going to be honest, it's a tactic that the employer tried to use against us.
Sure.
To just delay. And that's why it's so important. The members who are coming out and being the witnesses, who are taking the hot seat and stepping up, don't let that deter you. We stand as one. We back each other. And this is what our contract provides for. This is what we're fighting for. So as the County of Honolulu, County of Hawaii wraps up, we get UH coming right around the corner, the state coming up. That doesn't take away, we're still trying to resolve stuff with the employer. Me and the County of Honolulu, the mayor here, even during arbitration, we're meeting, trying to see if we could come to terms and get it done and just end it. I give props to the mayor. He tried his best. I tried my best. We just couldn't come to a common ground. So now we're just going to leave it to the arbitrator. And the arbitrator is going to, whatever his decision is, that's where we got to go. Same thing with the County of Hawaii. Mayor Roth over there, we're constantly calling each other, trying to see what numbers we're looking at. What I believe I know the members earned during the pandemic is to show appreciation for it. I know a lot of people look at it as, hey, where's the money? Why is this about? It's not. It's the service we rendered to keep this state and the counties running during the pandemic that the contract provides for. And that's all we're trying to fight for here, is we sign the contract, honor it. And that's why as we hear other decisions, and if you go, hey, listen to the other podcasts, we actually called it. I was a Miss Cleo as they were coming out. You know what I mean? I was saying, hey, you can hear Show
You look the same.
Yeah, it's that 4 o'clock in the morning telecast. You know what I'm saying? As they were coming out, those podcasts, we were actually sharing with the members. Hey, get ready. You're going to hear this county. And look, if it's HGA, if it's Shopo, if it's any other local union that's winning it, we got to praise them. In their victory, they won. We shouldn't be sitting there going, hey, why them, not us? Because their victories is going to assist us as we get there. And it's so important that we hold that so true. For UPW, County of Maui, those individuals that took that settlement is actually how we're moving forward in these arbitration hearings. So those guys took that 20% offer, that settlement they got. And that was the foundation, our foot in the door to kick it down. And as we rocking and rolling moving forward. Some of the offers coming out is there. But that's over 18 months ago. Those brothers got check in hand. We got to look past that now. If the employer comes to us and they offer something that's something I feel and I know the contract would hold up to, I will bring it up to the membership. I'll let the membership to review it and vote on it, 100%. If tomorrow County of Hawaii calls up and says, hey, Kalani, I got something I want to run past you. What do you think of this number? If I think it's something I think the members might be happy with, I'll bring it out to the members to vote. We're going to get more things done. We're going to start holding. This is something we've been pushing for and fighting for. This is something each and every single member of this union fought for to go through. And it's so important. And I can give you the perfect example because it was leaked by the employer, not us. That an offer from the employer came out where it was on lump sum payment, but it was clear in the offer that they would not take care of any of their retirees. The retirees would have been cut off, regardless if they worked during the pandemic. Because they retired, they wouldn't qualify for any settlement, anything like that. So when it was brought to me saying, hey, Kalani, this is actually a decent offer. Do you want to try to take it off to the members? Again, censorship won't let me answer it. But the answer was no. Every individual who worked during that time needs to be made whole. Like on Maui, we had even individuals who passed away. We made sure we fought for them. We got to make sure that everybody's made whole. If individuals who served 30 plus years and now retired so they can enjoy what time they have left with their family, just because that came along and the time has ended, they don't qualify? Hell no. Again, censorship doesn't want to let me say the true answer. But that's so important as we get the hazard pay. We got to make sure everybody's made whole. We cannot cut out the guys who are now retired. We cannot cut out guys who moved on from the job. It's a sentiment that everybody has to be made whole. And that's something we're trying to achieve for. So hazard pay, rocking and rolling. But more importantly, again, any union that gets a win as we come up, any union, SHOPO, HGA, UPW, praise to them for the fight they're doing for their membership. And as we start getting our victories, as we keep notching our stuffs, we got to just keep going and moving forward. That's how we do this.
Well, I look forward to the update in the next podcast about all of that.
Yeah, and more importantly, what are we watching on Netflix?
Thank you, Kalani.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Flash, I appreciate it. Always a pleasure.
Rocking and rolling. Well, as always, that was fun and informative. Kalani shared a lot of great information and insight there. And I hope you can join us for the next United 808 podcast. In the meantime, we'll see you at Bingo.